What's up, guys? I had a few comments recently saying could we do some tactics together, maybe a Puzzle Rush, and I really do. I'm a big fan of Puzzle Rush Survival. It should really be part of everybody's kind of daily routine. I think it really can't hurt, and it's a very good way to tell how well your chess brain is working. So. Thanks to everyone who's commented, let's do a Puzzle Rush Survival. Now my top score is 39 here, and we are off. So I just had to quit out of the previous one. Okay, so they start relatively easy, so around the kind of the 300 rating, but sometimes you get some weird kind of more difficult ones. So you get a lot of kind of mate in one puzzles to start with, and they get progressively harder, and you have to see how far you can go before you get 3 strikes and you're out. Okay, so here what I see is king and rook are on the same rank. The king cannot get to a square where it defends the rook, therefore rook g2 is a skewer. King is forced to move, we win the rook, and then we will go on to win the endgame. Okay, so what do we have here? This is just a really good way of saying, ping, here's a board, and quickly understand what's going on. Now, this is not a typical low-level puzzle. There's no kind of mate in one ideas here. So what do we have? We have bishop looking at knight. Bishop is undefended and under attack. Is it that simple? Is it a hanging piece? It's a hanging piece, right? But you know what? How many of us have missed hanging pieces? And sometimes it's just a great thing to be able to spot the obvious, right? Okay, here black is threatening checkmate in 1. Queen can't go there or there, but the key pattern to look for is the back rank. The king is in the middle of his 3 pawns, so it would take him 2 moves to get off the back rank. Therefore, rook b8 is it's not checkmate immediately because he can block with a queen, but then we take the queen and that's it. Okay, so it's always a good idea, by the way, to see the puzzle through all the way. Now here is a hanging queen, and it comes with check. So, hanging queen, we don't have any back rank issues of our own, and the rook is patrolling the back rank as well, so we definitely take the queen with check. The king has 1, 2, 3 moves, or the bishop can block. Bishop block doesn't work. I think it's the end of the puzzle, basically, anyway. Yeah, that's it. All right, here we go again. We have a nice bishop looking down here towards the king. We have a check here. All right, we're not in check. So let's say we gave check with the rook. The king can't move there because of the queen. Okay, so I think it's either rook blocks, which is checkmate on the next move, or it's bishop takes. So rook here, bishop takes, queen takes is check. The king then does have h7. But then we can give check again with the bishop. If knight blocks, we take, and it's check again. If rook blocks, we take. I think that's it, but this doesn't feel like a 300, 400 exercise. Okay, and take there. Okay, well that was it. I thought it was slightly more complicated than that, but there you go. Okay, this is a mate in 1. Look, queen supported by bishop, and there's nothing defending that. There you go, and that's what you can expect to find. All right, now this immediately has echoes of what's that trap? Legal's mate. But it's not that, it's simply a supported queen again, right next to the king, covering all these squares. It's mate in 1. This is also mating one, I think. The temptation is queen here, but that gives the king g7 and he can then run away. Queen h6, however, you forego the pawn, but it's check and there's no escape for the king. Alright, this is an interesting back rank. Now this is a pattern that comes up quite a lot. Okay, so I can see this because I've practiced it, because I've done a bunch of puzzles. I can see this fairly quickly, and I think this is the solution. Queen takes f2 check. King has to move into the corner, right? Then the queen goes to f1, giving up her life. The rook must take, but then you have rook takes, okay? King has to go into the corner, then you've got a barrage on the back rank and it's unstoppable because it's completely forced. Alright, now what do we have? Material's kind of equal. We're actually a pawn up. We have a very dangerous pawn on a6 there. This pawn is pinned. If we just attack the rook there, is that it? We just attack the rook. Rook comes here, we get a queen. We go there, rook it goes in the corner, we take it. So sometimes that was it. Push the pawn. That was the solution. All right. Well, we can take here. We've got two attackers on here. The king is the only defender. So there, king is forced to b8. So generally what you're doing with these puzzles is you're looking for a forced win, where whatever your opponent does, which is generally limited in scope, whatever your opponent does, you're going to finish either with a checkmate or up significant material and a winning position, generally. Okay, so this is my first thought. Now we're way down in material here. We're down a full rook and a knight. So we're going to need to do something quite forcing. So if queen takes rook, that's check. King has to go here. Queen can then take there. King has to go in the corner. Queen takes here, and that's checkmate, actually. See, but we've followed it through. It's really important to finish the task. All right, this is interesting. So we've got 6 pawns against 6 pawns. Okay, but this is an alignment problem, right? So that's where my eyes go. Okay, queen and king are in line, therefore here. And the only square that the king could go to where it would defend the undefended queen is here, but that's on the same line, so we can't do that. Therefore this, king must move off to the side, we win the queen and the game. Alright, first thing I see is I've got queen here, and that's checkmate in 1, because the knight covers the escape square. Oh, maybe not in 1. Okay. Alright. You are quite correct. King had f1. I'd like to get my queen here. So check here. King has to go there. Then I can take this. And that is mate. Yep, there you go. Right. Very exposed king. We have no queen. So what I would do now is simply colour in all the squares where the king can't go. Right, so the king only right now has 1 square. Okay, so the point is, how can we give check and remove this 1 square, you see? So this bishop covers there and there. He hasn't got this or this because of that bishop, that or that because of that rook. So, rook to b1. He's in check, the rook is defended by the bishop, and the king simply is out of squares. You see that? And the trick then is to do it without colouring in the squares. Okay. Right, so we've got quite a lot buzzing around the king. Checks, captures and threats. Now, we can't take there because knight defends. Knight's not pinned. If we take, it's defended 3 times. Lots of options there. Checks with the knight, no. Checks with the queen. No, that's just not playable. We could... Oh, hang on. Okay. So, this is what I see now. This knight is defended, as we've said, 3 times. Okay? But this knight is defended only by the other knight. So, but if I take that, he can recapture with that knight, right? If he were to recapture with the queen or the bishop, we could win material. But I don't feel that is the solution. Knight takes. Oh, then though, we've got 2 attackers on the bishop. Okay, so let's say, because we've got a discovery, you see, by this rook. We take that knight, his knight takes, we win the bishop, so we're up a piece. And that's usually enough to complete a puzzle. We take the knight, bishop takes, we win this knight with check. We take the knight and queen takes, we can come here with check. I don't know. It feels a bit, especially seeing as we're still sub 1000, that just doesn't feel right. What am I missing? It's not bringing the knight in here, is it? I mean, if I play queen here, it forces a trade of queens. It's not this. I'm going to take the knight and see what happens. Okay, he took with the knight. That means we win the bishop, does it not? Oh, okay. I'm not sure, but it didn't quite strike me as a beautiful puzzle, that one. Okay, so white is about to promote. So what we need to do is to use our assets here to prevent that. Now, there's only one check, which is pawn to h2. So if pawn to h2, the king comes here, we win. With pawn to g2 check, king has to move away, we get a pair of queens. So pawn to h2, king has to go in the corner. And then g2 check, he has to take here. But then we can't promote. So h2 corner. This is interesting. h2 has to go there. g2 is the only really forcing move, isn't it? Or is it a case of we let them promote? h2 corner, king f2. He's also got, no, he hasn't got a check with the knight because pawn takes. This is a fascinating one. I feel this is wrong. h2 corner, pawn to g2 check, has to take the pawn. We can't promote to a queen because king takes. h2 corner, g2 takes. We push king to f2, getting out of line of this. They promote. We promote the pawn from g2 to g1. King goes here, queen here. Whoa. King up here, right? So he still hasn't had time to... Okay, so he's... Oh, he didn't promote, look. We get a queen... Oh, that was it. Okay, I hope you caught that. Right. And we have queen takes there. Is check. King moves here, queen moves back, I think is mate. Queen back here, King can't get there, there. Checkmate, okay. Right, we're up to 17. We're hitting the 1,000 mark now. Okay. See, the other thing is that the other real benefit of puzzles is when you can, excuse me, when you can, the more puzzles that you do, the more you are wiring your brain to look at the board because you know there is something cool hidden there. And when you can do, the more you rewire yourself to do that, the more you will do that in games. So you'll start looking at positions in games and then say, what's here? What is in this, in this position? See? Right, so anyway, this one is not obvious, or not to me anyway. So material's kind of equal. Yeah. What is there? This rook's protected. The knight is not. Is it simply a case of pushing the pawn and forcing away the defender of the knight? Does black have any winning attacks? No, queen can't go there, gets taken. Can't go there. It could simply be this. The rook can't go here because queen takes. Can't go here or here or here because it gets taken. So I think that's it. It's just winning the knight, you see? So I was looking for complex things, and sometimes there's simpler things in there, okay? And that's the deflecting the defender tactic. Okay, we're up to 18. Right, we have an attack on the queen. This knight's defended twice, it's just moved there. If he takes, we recapture, that's alright. Okay, what's really forcing? This is kind of forcing. And where does the queen go? One of these squares. This bishop's not defended. And the other thing is as well to give yourself permission. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh, this is going to be a very boring video with lots and lots of silence in it. But this is the point. You've got to allow yourself to take the time that you need. Now, one thing I'm thinking is if I move this knight, I have got an overwhelm on this this knight here. So I think it might be as simple as knight takes knight, bishop or pawn recaptures, I've won myself a knight. Or a bishop. Yeah? There you go. Simples. Right. This is nice. Knight is controlling two squares adjacent to the king. If I go here, king has to go there, and then queen to d3, I think it's checkmate. Nice little pattern, good to know. Even if it seems kind of obvious, right? Practicing those obvious things, drilling them over and over and over again until you can see it almost without thinking is great. Okay, so black here is trying to promote. Can't do it immediately because of knight takes queen. This is interesting. We have no checks. Can't put the knight here because he just promotes with a queen. So that's definitely out of the question. It's almost like it's a Zugzwang situation. If I put knight here, he only has two options. One is to move the king there, the other one is to move this pawn. He can't move that pawn because we take. So it's got to be knight b1. Knight b1, he's going to put the king on a1. We take with check. He can't go to b1, he has to come back here. We go there, there, take the pawn with check. King comes back. Then our knight comes to here and blocks. To here. Oh, well, that's another idea. Okay, we take the queen and we win. Because this other pawn can't move. Okay. Alright, black to move. We have no queen. I think we sack the bishop there. Okay, so let me think this through. We sack the bishop. Hang on, he's got queen. Oof. Do we sack the rook? See, sacking the bishop here doesn't come with check. Then he's got queen here. Oh, it's check. That's checkmate. Because the king can't go there. Oh no, queen here. We can go here and then queen there. Pawn b8 equals queen is mate. Now, so it's not bishop sacks. Because of this, you've always got to be ready for the counterpunch. What's more forcing than that? Okay, where we have rook takes h3, check. King can't move because our bishop covers. Right, rook takes h3. Therefore, g takes h3 is forced. So then his pawn is now here. So this is gone, right? We push that pawn to here with check. King is forced to here. Takes. Or is that just checkmate? Pawn guards this. This bishop guards all of these. This bishop guards these. That's it. Checkmate. Beautiful. Oh. You know? That's just rewiring your chess brain. It's great stuff. Okay. Got a free check here. See, what I want to do, again, we've got this knight in this position. So I want to get my queen here. If we give check with the bish, king can't go there, 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 or there. King has to move on to a light square. And it can't be that one or that one. Okay. All right, we've narrowed things down. We give check here, king goes here. And then is knight there checkmate? No, because you can go back to e1 because we've just blocked the bishop, right? Bishop here. King has to go there. So, I mean, we have a check with the queen, which he can't block because we take. I think that's it. Bishop here, king d1, queen d5 check. King goes here though. I'm confident that's the first move because it's the only good check. Queen can't go there or there, so that's out. King is going into the corner. We know this, okay? We have two checks then. Queen to d5 or knight to f2. If knight to f2, he's got two squares. And it's very tempting sometimes to make the first move, but really, really put in the effort not to do that. Figure it out till the bitter end. Because what you're doing then is you're really exercising your ability to visualize changes on the board. Okay, so we've got bishop here, king's going to d1. Oh, queen there is mate. Oh, that was it. Okay, all right. Oh, slight disappointment. Right. This has got back rank ideas written all over it. I've got 2 checks with the queen. Now this one obviously doesn't work because simply queen takes queen. However, spot this one as well. Queen in the corner. King can't come onto the f-file because of the rook. Therefore, the only move is to block with the queen. We take the queen and we win. Oh, block with a rook. Okay, there we go. Good. 24, we're doing all right. I mean, that's quite forcing. But then bishop takes. These squares are out for the king. This is a curious one. Always looking for these forcing moves. There's nothing on the dark squares getting around the king. Nothing with that or that, I can't see. How does our queen get involved in this? Or is it as simple as like rook takes? Yeah, king can't retreat. King goes here. Rook takes, bishop takes. Rook takes bishop. King's in check. Then the queen comes in. Okay, let's figure this out. Rook takes. The only options are bishop takes rook or king to here, right? So if rook takes and king to there, we have rook in the corner. King's going to have to come on here, and then this rook's going to come up there and win the queen. So that's not playable. So if rook takes, bishop must take. Then I think we're sacking the other rook in order to get the queen onto the h-file backed up with this bishop, okay? So takey, takey, takey. Similar problem. King can't go onto the back rank because we have rook here. King has to go there, and then rook comes back and wins the queen. It's the same problem. So takey, 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 takey. Queen h4. King has to come here, I think. Okay. But now, okay, so it's basically losing either way. Here, and then here, and we win the queen. See? All the information was there, just needed to figure it out. Oh, we're in check, look. Discovered check. Right, first thought is, can we eliminate the bishop? He takes, we take. He takes with check. We evade. We lose our queen. He's got a rook left. Not great. If we move, don't know about moving into the corner. No, moving into the corner is just suicide because rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, and we are mated in a couple of moves. So king f8 is an idea. Wow. We take out we take out the bishop, he's got this. And we're in check, and he has to king moves, and then he wins the queen, so he ends up with the rook and wins. So I don't think that's it. What we're trying to do here is save the game. Okay, king f8. If he takes queen, we take rook with check. It's not this. Surely. I think, okay, king f8. He takes queen, we take rook. We're winning. Okay, this is forced, eh? Okay, that's it. You had to move the king. Anything else was losing. Right, let's do a couple more. Maybe get to 30. We'll see. Okay, first thought is bishop here is a skewer. Okay. And we win because we've got a bishop left. Now, that was a simple one. Alright, now, back to move. 2 attackers on here, 2 defenders though. We're in a bit of danger in the corner. If he gets in check, we have to come here. He goes check, we come back. Queen there is mate, because the king only has 2 squares. Therefore 2 rooks or a rook and a queen can deliver mate. So, whatever we do has to be forcing. Queen takes knight. That's the first thing we're looking at. King can't take, okay? So it's either, king moves there is mate, so queen takes knight, completely forcing, rook has to take. Rook takes bishop. Yeah. That was it. And the more you do these, the more they will become second nature. All right. So we've got interesting idea. We've got the bishop here, cutting off a lot of the squares around the king. Okay, so let's look at checks. Okay, rook check. It's got 2 pieces that can take. In fact, the knight can't, because the knight is guarding the unprotected queen. So here, he has got rook takes. What if we take the rook? If he takes queen, this is checkmate in 2, isn't it? We take rook. He's in check. He's got to get out of check. And there's only one way of doing it. Well, 2 ways. He could block temporarily, or he can take our queen. And then rook d1. Yeah. Checkmate. Cool. That's good. All right, 29. Right, it's threatening that. Teaches you to calculate your way out of trouble, which is a really good thing. If we take the bishop, he's got rook here, which is okay. We can get out of trouble that way. If we take there with check, bishop takes. Take the bishop. What's the worst that can happen? Is he going to attack with his pawn? I don't know. This is out of the question because rook takes with a skewer. We have to move, and then he wins the rook. So that's not it. Takes there. Bishop takes knight. We give check. This pawn is a danger on e5. We give check. Bishop can just block here. We take the bishop. He doesn't have this anymore. We take the bishop, he pushes here. That's fine. It's not this. He just takes our rook. Do we give check here? He pushes the pawn though. Don't know. I can't move the knight in a way such that it defends the rook. So I feel like our next move has to be moving the rook. Is this playable? He pushes pawn. Nope. This, he's in check, he pushes pawn. We take, he takes, we fork. And we end up with a knight. Wow, not easy to find that one. 30, not far from the old record. Okay, so here he's 1, 2 moves away from promotion. So my thought is king here, and there's no check by the rook, right? King here and rook here is checkmate. Checkmate. Oh, and then sometimes you get a quick one like that, so go figure. Right, interesting thing here is this bishop is blocking a discovered check. Is that just mate? So it's tempting to like take the pawn, but then king takes the knight and runs away. But if bishop here, king can't take the knight, can't stay there. It's either king into the corner or he blocks somehow. And if bishop blocks, rook takes is mate. Oh, bishop blocks there. Well, still rook takes, yeah? Excellent. 32, we're doing well. We're doing well, boys and girls. Is this a mate in one puzzle at 1700? It's mate in one. Surely it's mate. That's what you expect at 400, 500. Oh, I don't know. Go figure. All right. So, there's a danger pawn. Danger pawn. All right. First thought is we have a check. We want to stop the pawn, right? We can't go there because pawn is there, and we can't go there because of knight. So we can't move the king towards the pawn, which is what we want to do. Therefore, what else do we have? Well, we've got a couple of ideas. Check. Then our pawn is only 2 squares away from promotion. It has to be check. If the king moves like here, we still can't approach the pawn, but as soon as the pawn moves, we can approach it, right? Pawn moves, we can go here. So it's got to be check. He can't go there, so we go here. He's going to attack our knight. We advance the pawn. He can't take the knight because we promote with check. Okay, we promote. He promotes with check. Not good. We have to do this. Indeed, and we win. Get in. 34. Getting closer. Check. Queen can't take our queen because the king's in check by the knight. Queen can't take the knight because we win the queen. Okay, so what's going to happen? We give check. King moves to one side. Let's say king goes here. Okay, knight d3 check, king goes there. Knight's there. We can come here with check. And queen can't block on this square because our knight's looking at that square. Oh, yes. Okay, I didn't figure all that out. But I figured out enough. Okay, interesting one, another endgame. 35. And I still haven't lost a life. Right, we're going to carry on. I'm going to try and get 40, guys. All right, so here's the point. Here, and the knight comes here, attacking the promotion square. Do I move the king there first? And then just push the pawn to victory, I believe. No! No! You sod. And that you want to go back and check these now, right? But it won't let me do it. You have to finish the whole puzzle rush. That's really annoying. Okay. Knight's defended twice. Knight is also pinned. Attack the knight. Attack the knight. He has to push the pawn. We take the pawn. Takes with check. I don't know. Let's figure it out then. This is what it forces you to do. That's what I didn't do on the last one. Okay, he cannot allow captures on there. So bishop here has to push f3. We could take with check. No, you see? You don't follow it through to the end, it goes bang bang, you lose. Alright, interesting. That's defended only by the queen. This attacks the knight a second time. The knight is the only defender of that also, so I think we take here. Or here. What's best? There we're attacking the knight. There we're also attacking the knight. Knight can't take us because we have a mate. So here, this square is better because I think it prevents the queen from going there. Okay, so he's now defended that pawn, which is compulsory. Now we have options. This is forcing, comes with check. Forces queen to trade off. Then we're either going to win the rook, or no. Knight defends that. This attacks the rook. Oh, queen's under attack. Okay. Right, it has to be the queen then, doesn't it? There we go. 36. Right, we've got one more life. Okay, interesting. Now, the tempting move is going to be d3 with a fork, winning the knight. But we do d3. Okay, actually the king can't come here because we win the knight and we promote. Okay, so we get. My worry is the king goes here and it's a stalemate. I know this is a stalemate pattern, right? We go here. King has to go to there, right? That king can't advance. I've got a feeling it's going to be something like king d5. It is. If we go here, king goes here, we take the knight, king takes us, king gets back here, and it's a draw. No. Okay. So that was my all-time third best. Okay, so let's look at this puzzle. We'll look at the 3 that we got wrong, and then that will be it for the day. I started to rush a little bit towards the end, but there you go. Okay, so here, this has only been passed 57% of the time, and it's a 2000 rated puzzle, okay. So the move is that. Okay, so it is to push. King goes back there. Oh, and then we can get around just in time. Ah, okay. Right, that's interesting. What about this one? So I did this, didn't I? Okay, so you take the knight. Ah. You win the bishop. Is that it? Okay, so we trade knights and win a bishop. Right, so it was just about spotting this double attack. Okay, and the first one that we got wrong? I say we, but you're here to help me, right? Okay, so this was the issue with the knight coming to this square, and I wanted to move the king sideways. You just push. Then the knight comes in to hit. You attack the knight. And you can push on for free. Okay, need to work on my end games, but there you go. So there's a range of puzzles for up to around 2,000 mark. Lots of fun, but seriously, guys, you do that every day. Your chess is going to improve, hands down, no question. You will do better. Right, so quite a long one there, but people asked, so that's what I did. If you want me to do more of these, I'm very happy to do that as well. Other than that, just dive in yourself. Puzzle Rush Survival is the future. All right, thanks for watching. See you later.